Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sa Talk Show. And so nobody is here yet. I'm just going to start random. So yesterday we did the demonstration, not demonstration, but the I found this new mouse yesterday. This is fantastic. Okay, this is critic. This is fantastic mouse. Let me show you. Uh, let's talk about this mouse. And yesterday we did talk about this keyboard. Let me find it. So do it yourself. Not This is not actually do it yourself. You buy it from AliExpress. So this keyboard, yesterday, about like 15 minutes into the video, we did a talk about this keyboard. Now, what's special about this keyboard is all those knobs and wheels. One, two, three, four. You can see. And I was saying this wheel is the best physical input device for controlling any type of commands that comes in pairs, such as previous page, next page, scroll up, scroll down, forward word, backward word, forward char, backward char, delete forward, delete backward, and okay, so quit, don't save, reopen. Uh, you know, forward paragraph, backward paragraph, all these kind of things. And the previous tab, you know, uh, next tab, you can fly through them. I have a key. I can just hold it down, and you just fly through them. You can see, it's going through so fast that the browser doesn't even have time to update. So these are pairs of commands, and there are so many of them. There are tens of them, and also next window, previous window, next application, previous application, and so on. So I was saying for this kind of pairs of commands, the best physical input device for that is the wheel or a drum, this kind of thing, because and also for volume up and down, for example. Why? Because this kind of control, when you have a wheel, when you have a knob, you can these commands needs repetition. It needs fast repetition, and also need precise control. Like for char, you need precise control because you don't want to go over, especially when you repeat it too fast. And for this kind of thing, the wheel is the best. And also, these kind of commands, often you want to quickly reverse direction, and that is also the wheel works the best. Uh, so I want to show you some kind of some Emacs demo. Okay, let me show you some Emacs things I can do. Well, first of all, for example, you have scroll up and down. Okay, you have scroll up and down that you need to control. Um, Actually, just let me show you my mouse. Okay, my mouse got this infinite wheel. For example, I can just you keep scrolling. This is spinning wheel, Logitech. So by that mouse, I recommend it. Logitech makes several of them. So actually, let's go to the XATalk page, and let's create today's topic: infinite scroll. And let's see if I'm alive. Yes. Hey guys. Good morning, guys. Comment. Okay. Post a comment in the chat. So infinite scroll, show Emacs mouse wheel command, customization. Okay. Infinite scroll. So yeah. So you want to have uh, and show this mouse. Okay. Let me type in the topics. You want to have this this kind of wheel input for those kind of commands. And so we were talking about that yesterday, and I'm going to demonstrate a new Emacs, something related to Emacs, a command for doing that. Yeah, so let's go to Emacs blog, open. Let's go to init setup and search for mouse, mouse. Uh, okay, it's not here. Let's go to practical Emacs, search for mouse. Should be in here, mouse, useful settings, default. So we want to modify, we want to customize the mouse wheel for Emacs. And I have a page that's dedicated to that. Oh, that's in Emacs keys. So you go to the Emacs keys section, then search for mouse, mouse. There it is, how to set mouse buttons in Emacs. Now I'm going to demonstrate some of the interesting use of the interesting setup of the mouse wheel. Okay, let's see how to set mouse buttons. Wheel up, down. Okay, so here they are. On the Mac, wheel up, wheel down. Okay, okay. So let's go to XR Talk Show, and let's paste it here. That's the Emacs mouse wheel. And what we want to, first of all, we want to see what wheel up, what is the command name when you do wheel up. Let's call describe key, then move the wheel up. So yeah, okay, so it says wheel up and wheel down, okay, on the Mac. Now on Emacs, each one of them is different. On Linux, it's mouse 4, mouse 5. On Windows and Mac, it's wheel up, wheel down. Okay, so let me put this here, and on this window, you can see all my Emacs commands. Wheel up, wheel down, wheel up, wheel down. Wait, wheel down. Okay. So let's try this. Okay, Emacs Lisp, paste it, global wheel, mouse wheel. Let's see, wheel down. Let's copy that, paste it here. So global set key, wheel down. What do you want to do for wheel down? I want these commands. Okay. Okay, and wheel up will be oops. So that's a two command I want. Now eval buffer, eval it, delete it, paste it here. Now look, I'm going to scroll my wheel. You see how the cursor moves by paragraph. Like right now, wheel up, it goes up by paragraph. Let's go into click mode. So wheel down, wheel down, wheel down, wheel down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, up, 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 and it can do it very fast. You see, so you can. So this is the example of the wheel and up down customization. Example of demonstrating the power of the wheel. So okay, that, and now I want to set my wheel back to the default. The easiest way is actually just to quit Emacs. So let's do that. Quit Emacs, and restart it. Okay, now my wheel is back for doing scroll up and down. Okay, so we were talking about this, yeah, the wheel. So that is that. Now let me show you. Hold on a second. Let me put it here. Close that. Let me show. So yesterday I found this mouse. I think this is a fantastic mouse, and especially for programmers. This is never seen before. I have you have never seen. I have never seen this design before, and I think it's truly great. First of all, it is a vertical mouse. Now, vertical mouse is for repetitive strain. You have problem with the mouse because normally when you use the mouse, your hand is like that because mouse is flat. You move like that, and that's no good. That's rather a natural posture. The more natural is something like that because if you just put your hand on the table, it's something like that. Or even that. So the mouse, this way it's no good. So if you are a gamer or Photoshop or you use mouse for hours a day, that's going to cause problems. That is why you have these vertical mouse, and there are so many of them today. Let's have a look. So you see vertical mouse, ergonomic mouse, there are just so many different designs now. There are tens of them, especially from China. There's so many from China. You see, one thing in common is that they want it to be angled. So anyway, you have these options, but I think this one is the best design because you see, most of them are like they are more or less like typical mouse. You have three buttons or five buttons. Okay, one, two, three. Five buttons, including a forward, backward button. That's not enough buttons because for a mouse, you don't want to move your hand to go back to keyboard, to close tab, to switch tab, to copy and paste. That's keyboard and mouse back and forth. That's no good. You want Preferably you want everything on the mouse. But typically for these vertical mouses, they don't have many buttons. If you go for a gamer mouse, yeah, you have 10 buttons, 10 or even 20 buttons. I have that one. Uh, so vertical mouse, usually they don't have many buttons, but this one is fantastic. First of all, it's got many buttons. You have the five standard buttons: left, right, middle, and backward, forward. But even better than buttons, you have this joystick. This joystick is a four-way joystick, but also you can press it down. So it functions like five buttons. So why is this joystick better than buttons? Because if you consider buttons, the ergonomics of buttons. Hey, good morning, Bartholomew, and good morning, Dion. Great to see you guys. Uh, so if so, the joystick for many in many aspects is better than button as far as ergonomic is concerned, and for controlling things. For example, you have this four-way joystick. First of all, joystick is ergonomically better than mouse buttons. Okay, keyboard buttons, mechanical keyboard key are better than mouse buttons because mouse buttons. Uh, let me show you then. I guess let me show you. Okay, so you have mechanical. Um, you see, you have keys. Now keys are fantastic uh, because they are easy to press and they are huge and they do not require much pressure. Any of these keys, but however, for a mouse button, the actual physical mechanism is called micro switch. They call it micro switch, and it's click, click. If you compare them, like if you have to do this, let's say 100 times let's say 100, let's say 300 times, let's say 5 times a second, and you have to do this for an hour, then you will realize, you will see that the keyboard mechanical keys is far better ergonomically, because the mouse, you get tired very 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 fast. Like normally, you don't, you may not believe it, because if I say, oh, a mouse button is ergonomically worse than keyboard keys, you don't think of, you don't readily see it, because you don't use, you know like when you compare these kind of things, one way to see the difference is that, imagine you have to do it many many times for an hour. So if you imagine you have to press a key or a mouse button 5 times a second, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a second for, let's say, 10 minutes, then you compare doing that for a mouse, or compare pressing a keys on keyboard, then you realize the difference, the how it, which one is harder and how much harder. That's when you realize that. So for most people, when they talk about key binding, and they don't consider much. I mean, one of the most important things is how much you have to press the key actually, because if you only press, let's say 50 times a day, it doesn't matter. Okay, mouse is fine. You know, but if you have to do it a lot, every day for years, for example, in the past 10 years I've been sitting on this chair, then you realize there's actually a big difference long term. So now I don't even press my mouse. My mouse is auto click. Let me show you. Okay, so you see, when the way I operate my computer, I don't press buttons. I just nudge the mouse to whatever windows I want. This is fantastic. I don't, it's got auto click. It's truly convenient. But however, the thing is, you have to get used to. And if I don't want auto click, I just move my mouse to the lower left, lower right window. Then there's no auto click right now. You see, so you can switch between easily. Now auto click is back. So notice, all my windows are got sides, to the edge of the monitor, so I can just nudge my mouse to there and fly there. Like Emacs is typically lower right, and Firefox is typically middle button, middle bottom, and that's how I operate. But you have to get used to it, and actually, so I have articles on that. For example, um, you go to software. Like I have explanations of what I just explained, why you want to do that and how to do that for Linux, for Mac, for Windows. Well, actually, in fact, in Windows 10, they removed that feature in the UI, so you cannot do it easily now. But in Windows Vista, before 10, you can go to the control panel and set it up. So let's look at that. Hover to switch window. Okay, for example, this is the instruction for Mac. Hover to switch window. Okay, so let's type that. Greetings. I don't like mice. I used ratpoison for a while. Well, I talked about this, the keyboard versus mouse. In my videos, few videos. Last week or something. I don't know if you've seen that, because that's one of the hackers. Uh, that's one of the hackers. They all say that, especially ratpoison, for example, the name. Oh, why? Okay, let me talk about a few things. Why tiling Windows sucks. Why tiling window manager sucks on Linux. that article becomes so popular. I talked about this before a few months ago. Um, let's show that. Okay, so let's go to Linux keys, search for tiling. Okay, this article becomes so popular every year. They showed up on Hacker News and and Reddit. Why is it popular? Partly because you can say I'm trolling. Okay, I you know I, but rather more correct. It's more correct to say it's dramatic, not troll something. I don't like the word troll because it means a thousand things. But anyway, so this article becomes popular. So um, and anyway, so let's go back to our topic. So I was saying, oh, rat poison. Okay, rat poison is this one of the first tiling Windows manager for X11 for Linux. And I know the guy. The guy is a Emacs user. Okay, I chatted with him like 10 years ago on IRC. He is a Canadian. I think he's a Canadian. He lives around Vancouver or something. I think so. Wait, maybe not. But anyway, he. Okay, let me explain the two persons. Let's go. Okay, so many topic. Okay, rat poison, the guy, and his friend, the IRC, the Emacs IRC guy. And he's also on Twitter. The rat poison guy is on Twitter. He is a Emacs user, and he has a friend. I also know. Oh, okay, so many stories. Um, Emacs keyboard frequency. Okay, let me talk about these people a little bit. So first of all, okay, so let me start command log mod. Okay, and let's start another window and move this window over here, and let's go to search. Let's use a Golang script to search. So I type find, and I want to find it in the web directory. So in this directory, that's all my website. And let's search for rat poison because I don't remember where is the file. So and search. This is a Golang script. Then you'll come up. Meanwhile, let's look at the IRC guy. So there is a guy who wrote the Emacs IRC mod. It's called, the full name of the mod is RCIRC, and his name is let's search it for. Okay, so let's use the Emacs command to search it. So go to my Emacs directory, search for it, RCIRC. Let's search for IRC. Oh, actually, I know where is the article. So you go to my Emacs homepage. There is a acknowledgement. Then search for IRC. Here is a guy, Ryan Yeske. Ryan Yeske. He is the author of RCIRC, which is bundled in Emacs since about 10 years ago. So, we can actually start it. So, MetaX IRC, it's aliased to the command name IRC, or you can type RCIRC, it's the same. So, RCIRC, enter. So that's a mod. You start to get into free.net, or you can connect to other IRC. So, okay, I haven't been using IRC for over 10 years. So anyway, in RCIRC, in any major mod, you can do describe mod, okay, with a shortcut Control HM. So let's do that. So you can see these RCIRC commands. Now you go to the top, you go to the link, and here's the source code. It is 3,000 lines, and you go to the top, and you can see his name. Ryan Yeske. Okay, and he also contributed. He is the origin. He wrote the Emacs command frequency mod. Okay, he's the origin. Hold on a second. Let me close this. Close it. Kill it. Close it. Kill it. What? Close it. Do I want to save? No. So okay, so let me copy the name. And now let's go back to my talk page. So RCIRC guy, he is also the author, original author of Emacs command frequency mod. Okay, let me show you that. So you go to Emacs keys and search for statistics, Emacs command frequency statistics. Now this is a statistics, my study of all command call frequency. Now how is this generated? It's, there's a major mod you can download that will log all your Emacs command calls. The latest version is by David Capello. Let me search the name. David Capello. Okay, so it's on GitHub and it's called key frequency. He forked it, but the original one is began by Ryan Yeske guy. Because in 2006, I was in Emacs IRC free node, Emacs room. So we were chatting, and I was into designing of keyboard shortcuts. And then I mentioned, it would be nice to have a log. Then he wrote it. He he wrote it right away, like 20 lines, 20 lines. So he began that. Then I added a little things. Then it becomes larger. Then other people contributed. Michael Nazarewicz. Michael Nazarewicz. He made it into a full package. Then later on, David Capello forked it and made it a frequency mod. So the reason we are mentioning this is because the Ryan Yeske guy. Now the Ryan Yeske guy, he is a hacker type. Well, like me, like many Emacs users. I don't think I'm not sure he works in a company. I think he does freelance, something like that. Typically we don't work, in steadily in a company. You move around. So that's him. So let's put that here. Okay, so then why am I mentioning Ryan guy? Because he is a friend. He and this guy, ratpoison guy, are friends. I think they are real life friends. I think they are in Vancouver, Canada. And the ratpoison guy, let's find his name. He wrote the ratpoison. Now ratpoison is a window manager for X11 on Linux, and it is written in. I think it's written in Common Lisp. Okay, I've in C or in Common Lisp, I forgot. But anyway, then later on, he created another window manager that's completely written in Common Lisp. That is the supposed to replace the ratpoison. Do you remember the Dion? Do you remember who? What's that window manager's name? Good morning, Ztron. Uh, So window manager, so rat poison, these names, the reason it's named rat poison because all these people, they hate mouse, and I have a giant rant against them. Okay, I think they are just wrong. They are totally like idiotic. Okay, I actually took. So you still use it, or you used it before? Okay. So rat poison. Well, it's on Wikipedia. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's go to Wikipedia. It's on Wikipedia. Rat poison. Yeah, with that logo. I despise. This rat poison. Actually, my system is more efficient. That's part of my rant on this white tiling window sucks. Let me copy that. Oh, okay. White tiling. Uh, Wait, do I have it? Okay, I don't. Let's copy it. So white tiling window sucks. This article is basically my flame against all those people, especially Emacs, Vim, Unix philosophy. This type of people. Every day they say is, oh, don't use the mouse, use the keyboard. That's idiotic. Okay, because sometimes ago I spent like 30 minutes talking about that. So let's not. I'm not going to repeat that. But you can read this article, um, and uh, and uh, and I explain why the reason the rational why I don't I don't think that's good. And you can do it, you can compare scientifically. Most of these people, Emacs users, or this Vim, keyboard or no mouse, this type of people, or Unix philosophy, for instance, they never actually do anything scientific. They go by law, they go by hacker law. Oh yeah, never use the mouse. Oh yeah, let's swap. The best thing to do is always swap cap locks to control. That's what they say. It's all bullshit. Do it by measure it scientifically, define, measure, statistics, you key logging, log your keystroke, then you see what's what. So yeah, I talked about this, so let's not talk about that again. So anyway, so that's this article about. And so rat poison. So rat poison, let's go back to rat poison. Okay, so close that. Let's go to Wikipedia because there is a common Lisp version. So rat poison is written in C. Then this guy is a big Lisp fan. Okay, Shawn Betts, that's his name. Shawn Betts. He's on Twitter. Okay, now and then I see his posts. And also he's a juggler. Okay, let me show you my juggling. I was a juggler when I was a teen, like since 16. I was planning to become the greatest juggler, and I do juggling on the street in Montreal, Canada. I ride unicycle and stuff. Shawn Betts, author author of Rat Poison. Um, Friend of Ryan Yeske. Okay, and okay, and what? And the next version of Rat Poison. Let's search for common list. Okay, so there it is. Oh, Stump VM. So Stump VM is the next generation of Rat Poison. It's written in common Lisp. So all you Lisp fans, you'll love it. You'll get excited and you'll love it. Uh, so Stump Window Manager is written entirely common Lisp. It's like Haskell's. Haskell has a thing. Haskell has a White Island Manager sucks. Haskell has the X monad. So you see that these tiling managers, it's not just. And also Scheme Lisp also has one called Swim, I think. Anyone remember? Scheme Lisp also have a tiling windows. Win I'm not sure that one is tiling, but it's Windows Manager written in Scheme Lisp. You see, these Linux tools, it's not about how good is a tool, but rather it also has to do with your phonetism with a particular language. If you are a Haskell fan, you are thinking you need to create a window manager that's written in Haskell, and everything you do is just in Haskell. Then you have the StumpWM for Common Lisp, and there's also one written in Scheme Lisp, which is the oldest of them all. And of course, there's if you go old school, then there's a GNU step, which is kind of like trying to emulate the next operating system, the next OS from Steve Jobs. The next interface. So you guys, any one of you remember that? So let me read the comments. Okay, so Shawn Betts. So that guy. So Shawn Betts. He wrote ratpoison, and uh, so let's get organized. Organized. So we have a nice thing to see. Now this is my Xar Talk Show page viewing browser. So today's section is here, but however, let me show you. Let's create a new page. So Xar Talk Show date meta x Xar new page. Okay, that creates a new page showing browser empty. Okay, back, close. Now cut. Okay, now back to here, make it a list, go back to the link, open it, paste it, show in browser. So there it is. That is today. Then close that. You see, I just nudge my mouse around, or I can press a key, a single key, to go to the last window application. So where am I? Okay, so we are here, and then just delete that, delete, then put this into here, show in browser, down. So that is there today. Okay, so we talked about these things: Emacs setup buttons, Ryan Yeske, and we talked about why Tally Manager sucks. Okay, Shawn Betts, they are friends, and juggling. Okay, Xar juggling. So Shawn Betts is a juggler. He can do 5 balls at least. I can also do 5, but I cannot do now. You need practice. You need to practice. I haven't been juggling for several years, but I can show you 3 for sure. But anyway, but I have an old video. That's me juggling. So let me show you Xarly juggling. Okay, so hold on a second. Xarly juggling. Okay. Shawn is a juggler. Okay, Xarly juggling, and let me show you my juggling website. I have quite a lot of videos of the best juggling. Photo of Xarly. So let's go there. Now this page is a bit controversial, so I'm not sure I want to. That's my sister back in 2005. Okay, here is me juggling. Let's see if we can do that. You see, juggling is quite fun. There are so many tricks. Um, I'm not sure I want to do it here. You can For three balls you can just juggle, but you can also do catch. That is not difficult. I have to get out my juggling balls. You guys want to see it? uh, I haven't been juggling for too long. For example, you have three balls. Now, I don't want to do with these because these are metal and stone. I don't want to drop. It's gonna break my keyboard. So you can juggling like that. Okay, but you can also do with this way by like that. Catch. So I did that in that's not too difficult. There are so many tricks. Okay, but I'm gonna show you some videos. My collection of videos on YouTube. Yeah, it's all from YouTube. YouTube has tons of juggling things. And juggling is a community by itself, just like Emacs, Vim, programming, math. It's like a community or gaming. Particular a specific game, you have like a community or Second Life. Yeah, you all these communities are all gangster. If you are a gangster, you know about gangster stuff every day. What's going on? If you are in gangster stuff. Um, so juggling is a community. There's a lot of people in it, and a lot of hacker types, and so they are also celebrities jugglers, celebrity jugglers. If you are in this community, okay, these people are celebrities. This person is famous for what. That person is always dramatic, and he always did something. It's like that. And who is the world's record holder, who is the best juggler, and so on. And what kind of juggling. There are so many types of juggling. So I have like some kind of collection of videos. It's my blog basically. This this guy is fantastic. uh, well, I'm not going to show it. You can just go to my website and see it. Just you can just go to my website and see it. But let me get the link. Just search for Xali juggling and you'll see it. And some of them, yeah, there are actually quite many interesting things in juggling. Juggling, it's jugglers is kind of like Emacs. People who loves Emacs, the type of personality are kind of congregated. You tends to often many of them are wanderers. You wander around. You don't hold jobs. You wander around. You join the circus. I was going to join the circus back then, and you meet many interesting peoples. For example, there is a, I don't know if I should mention that there is this guy. Okay, there is this guy who I met back in Montreal when I was 16, and he is for a time he's a world record holder. He is a great juggler. Um, his name was Andrew Allen. Okay, he is a orphan. I think orphan. I think so. He doesn't have a parent, but so when I was 16, he is like, he's maybe 5 years older than me, something like that. And he he knows like 10 languages. He speak 10 languages, including Chinese. I think he's a white guy, American. I think he grew up in New York, and he speak like 10 languages, including Chinese, and he also write and read Chinese. That is rare, because for people who learn Chinese, usually they don't learn to read and write because that's too difficult. So he speak, Chinese is one of his language. He also, all the most popular languages he speak, but he also speak some of the rare languages, not mainstream languages, and also he studies old English. Okay, now in English literature, like you have Shakespeare, right? But I don't know the details, but I think before 1500s, even or before that, you have what's called Old English. He read that. He read that. So he's in many, but he's not. He doesn't have a degree. He doesn't. Yeah, he is a high school dropout, something like that. But however, I think he's in jail now for reasons I don't want to get into. Okay. He has been hiding for 10 years, something like that. Um, yeah, I wrote about it. I don't want to, yeah, let's not talk about that. I don't think it's fair. I do not think he should be in jail, but, for reasons, but anyway, I met him when I was 16, and there's stories, I don't want to say, but yeah, but I don't think he should be in jail. I think he's in jail. So let me read the comments. So that's about juggling. So on this page, you can check it out. Let me post the link then, and let me read the comments. So what's up, Bartholomew and Dion? Say things, okay? Like yesterday, I read the comments. There are some comments I missed. Well, usually when I'm just busy, like I'm busy ranting about something, and there's some comments, whether either questioning my thesis, whatever I was saying, or something related, but I'm too busy to read them. That Yeah. So Bartholomew says, reminds me of the super children in China, where some 4 years old judge juggle like they are born with these sports. Now Chinese typically they don't juggle. Okay, I mean these juggling balls or juggling clubs, they are like Western style of juggling. I they are, well, at least today. I don't know about Asian, but at least today this kind of juggling, that's kind of Western thing. Chinese traditionally they don't do this kind of thing. They do actually what they do is kind of more artistic and more creative and more beautiful to look at. For example, they kick chairs. Okay, let me show you some example. Chinese chairs. Okay, Chinese chair juggling. So you lie on your back and you kick a chair with your legs. Yeah, and this vase, so I was, very much into juggling. Um, so that I know a lot about this. I know about, a lot about circuses. I watched so many of them on video, even back then. That's on VHS tapes, back in 1986, around that time. Yeah, I was in Montreal, Canada. So I watched lots of that and talked to a lot of people. All my friends are juggler and unicycle riders and stuff. So Chinese juggling typically they don't do this ball juggling. The traditional. Uh, when you say juggling, people think of throwing balls or clubs. That's juggling or rings, but that's usually Chinese circus. They don't do that. They do these kind of things. They kick. They kick a table. For example, this is one of their act. They kick a drum. They do, and they have this kind of thing. So it's like different. And this vase thing, this is also spectacular. Okay, this is one act of Chinese juggling, specific to Chinese. So what you have is, okay, hold on a second. What you have is Chinese vase juggling. Okay, let me show you some pictures, some some photos. It's that way it's easy to see. Uh, this one, yeah, you see that's a classic traditional porcelain vase. Weighs like, I don't know, 10 kilograms or something. So you put it on your head. You can spin it. You can flip it. Things like that. Okay, so and also, by the way, many of the you will find the article on Wikipedia. Wikipedia has lots of info. You will find, for example, you search that, you'll find lots of info um, on Wikipedia. They are yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. So Chinese juggling and Chinese acrobat, unlike Western. For example, Western, you have gymnastics. You have in Olympics you have gymnastics, tumbling, but Chinese juggling, they have different, they have kind of a more artistic touch rather than just the plain uh, performance. So anyway, so that is my so yeah, I have a lot of videos on this web page. You can go around and you'll see. I love those things, but now I'm too old, and now I'm anyway. Uh, so let me finish the comments. So Dion Bartholomew says, reminds me of the super children in China. I'm not sure what super children you referring to. 4 years old juggle like they born with balls. White American man, the root of all evil. I forgot where that came from. You mean like Kosa? Yeah, maybe. I don't know much. I don't know anything about that guy, Kosa. I don't even remember. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I recognize as some kind of old uh, English author. Well, he's in prison because I don't want to mention it. I don't want to say why. But I did blog about it. If you are diligent, you can find, I think you will find my blog somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I don't. Let's not talk about that. Well, partly because it involves him. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Uh, so they did juggling and other circus stuff. Oh yeah, learn juggling. So Dion, how old are you, Dion? 30s or 40s or 50s? Uh, okay, I don't. Actually. So let me tell you where. Okay. There used to be blogger from Google. There's a blogger, Google's blogger, which kind of died. So I used to post on Blogger, like synced to my own website blog, because for one time, this, Google created a Blogger. There's blogging is dead. That's one era of online history. So Google, then at one time it's hugely popular. It's like everyone is saying, "Oh, everyone should write a blog." The information will come from people and things like that. Then eventually, after 10 years, Google killed it. Google, the blog reader, the aggregate, RSS aggregate, Google killed it. By the way, by the time Google killed Google Reader, that's already blogging is already dead because the social media, the Facebook, Twitter took over. That is why. And that is also the time Google started to Google created Google Plus. Google, the thinking was that social media is the future you need to get into. So Google pushed Google Plus by all means necessary. It's like by all evil tactics. They try to push Google Plus. They force people on YouTube to merge, account with Google Plus and force people to use real name and so on. Because why? Because it was Facebook who started to use real names, and that becomes successful. Because most people, unlike programming nerds, they actually, they want real names. They don't want to go to online and they see a bunch of Batman and Prince and Princess and the Joker. That's I don't want that either. I don't want that either. I hate every time I see the programmers on Reddit, on Hacker News, a bunch of anonymous crap. And you see the result of it too. That is why on Reddit, on YouTube, on Hacker News, you get all these comments, brainless comments, and many of them they try to, they want to try to write it so that it's like cat pictures, so they get a lot of votes up. Then they feel happy. Oh, I got voted up. It's like that. Brainless, degenerate. So anyway, Google. So that's Google Plus. So I was saying, so blogger. So on blog, so back then I have account. I have like 2 or 3 blogger accounts where every time I write on my own blog, I also post there. Trying to trying to be popular. That is why. Well, yeah. Part of the reason is I also want to be popular. I'm trying to get a pie of it. The other reason is that I want to explore the technology. Oh, Google is doing this. Let's see how it works. How they do the CSS. How can I customize what interface? That's the other part of the reason. So anyway, so for like 4 years, for about 4 years, I have several blogger accounts. Then about 3 years ago, I deleted them. Why? I wouldn't mind leaving it up just there, but the thing is then spam. Like every day you have to deal with tens of spam comments. Spam. Well, Google has spam filters, right? But it doesn't work, so well. So you still got spam, and spammers they change techniques. Every month they change techniques. I can I can write a book about the spamming techniques through over the past 20 years. You have this, that. So anyway, the lots of spam. So finally, I killed them. I deleted it. For example, you can go to Xali Blogger. I think you'll probably find it. There. Okay, so I wait. So there is one of my blogging account. I had at least 3. Okay, so I know where to find it, but right now I don't know. Oh wait, what? This one is not deleted. What? Hold on a second. There is. I should delete it. I didn't realize this one is still up. Yeah, so this one is my main blogger account. I deleted it like 3 years ago because I don't really want to delete it. I don't mind. I just want to leave them up because that's history. That's what I like. Typically, that's my mindset. Leave everything up. I don't care whatever. Whatever you've done. That's history. Leave it. Leave it there. But the part of the reason I delete them is because Google becomes evil and abusive. Then you have the bunch of spams I have to deal with every day. Then I just deleted it because I don't want Google to have my information. It's not it's not yours, Google. So anyway, on this blog, one of these account, I don't remember which one. I wrote about this juggler. Okay, so you might find it in archives. But typically, every time I post to Blogger, I also have a version on my own website. But for this particular case, I don't remember whether I have it on my website. Um, his name was Andrew Allen. Okay, Andrew Allen. That was his. When I met him, that was his name. But later on, he changed name legally. Um, okay, so if you want to find him, you can find him. Oh, yeah, this is open information. Okay, Bartholomew. You can easily find his information because for one time he is the world's best juggler. He has a world best devil stick or something. He's one of the most famous, world famous juggler in the juggling community. Like everyone knows him, heard of him, because he's such fantastic. Yeah, you can say that one of the best juggler in this century. One of the best. Let's say top 100. Not well. You could say top 10. Okay, but in top 10 there's so many other people. You know, one of the best. Okay, and he also is a scholar. He's a orphan. He doesn't high school dropout or something, but he knows. He speak 10 language, 20 languages. He read old English, and so on. And he travels like as far as I know he travel around the country, around the world. One day in China, one day in Germany, one day in and he's known in the circus community and also among circuses. Like circuses, I don't know if he ever performed worked with a circus, but probably. But he's a friends with many circuses. So he go around. People love to have him stay. Like if he comes by, or stay at my house for a month. Things like that. So he's like that. So his name was Andrew Allen. So back from let's say 1990s to let's say 2000s, he's well known. Okay, so first, so you find that his name, you'll find him, then you'll easily see what's the situation because people talk about that. Uh, yeah, you don't even need to find my blog. It's he's Julian Lafayette. Okay, TES Dagger for programmer. Okay, I don't know who is that, and I don't know what is TS Dagger for. So what else? So maybe that's it today. I think the Elder Scrolls. What Elder Scrolls? The Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So the Elder Scrolls is a series of action role-playing open-world fantasy video games, primarily developed by Bethesda Game Studios. Okay. Uh, the game everyone knows. So you know it. I don't know it. I don't. RPG series. I never heard of it. A lot of people. I think hackers. A lot of them are interested in these role playing games. But I mean, the type that where you have a text based MUD, like mud, dragon something, dragon and dungeons. You have mud, text based role playing game. I never find that interesting. Like you have to type a lot and and like it it'll say right now you are seeing a corridor. You can turn right or left. Then you have to type, so pick your choice. Especially the text based. I don't see what's the point in that. That's silly. I like role playing. I like Zelda. Zelda 64. I played on Nintendo 64. That's one of the fantastic, greatest game. Zelda, the Ocarina of Times. I think yeah, that's the one I played. That's fantastic. Now that is also called role playing game. So that I like. But okay, so the Elder Scrolls, I don't know what it is. Uh, so apparently it's a big game. Oh, Skyrim. What does Skyrim have to do it? Skyrim I heard of. Oh, okay. Skyrim is part of it. Okay. I mean, it's one of the uh yeah, but I don't know. Oh, 3D is good. Okay, I like 3D stuff. One of the most idiotic game is Minecraft. In principle, I think that I cannot possibly uh, like that game because as computer graphics technology progresses, then you have this guy who creates a 3D game where everything is a Lego block. What an idiot! And then it becomes tremendously popular. Okay, what a flip! Dagger 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I haven't been playing. I haven't been playing games other than the 90s. Those arcade games. So I played. I'm a gamer. Okay, well, that's a bit complex. Depending on what you mean. So I'm a gamer in a traditional classic sense. For example, arcade games since 1980s. Let me show you some of the um, games I played since I was 12. Yeah, I'm addicted to it. Back then you have to put money, so I take my dad's money and play a lot. And I'm the type where when I play a video game, I have to pass it. Like I can go 3 days, 1 week continuously, no eating. Well, not eating much. Okay, sleep, wake up immediately, play until after 16 hours. My eyes becomes all sore and sleep, wake up, play again. I have to finish it. I have to, So for many periods in my life, that happens. So that I'm like that. So so I played a lot arcade games, since I was small, and even in 1990s, Street Fighter, and but then 3D games became popular, Doom or whatever, Doom, and I've never actually played any of those. Okay, the only I could say only three games I played modern, what people think of as game today, three. One is Zelda, the Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64. That is, I would consider that is the best game I ever played in my life. Zelda 6, on Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's my friend. Back then, this is 1998. We are in a startup, and I have this American programmer. He's a gamer. He showed me that. He let me play. So that opened my eyes. Zelda Ocarina of Time. That I played. Then around 2002, I played Alice. Let me show it. Okay, so actually, let's show arcade games. Tron. Okay, search for that. Okay, then I'm going to show. So I played Zelda. Uh, I'm not sure I spelled that correctly. Ocarina of Time. So these are some of the fantastic arcade games. Tron, and so Tron life cycle optimal strategy. There's many of these games has a math aspect to it. And Ladybug is fantastic. Ladybug, and let me show. And there are several others. 1980s. For example, this one when it came out, I played when I was like 10 or something. The Space Invaders. Then there is Asteroid. Asteroids is fantastic. It's one of the first vector graphics game. Uh, by the way, there are many modern versions today with fancier graphics and stuff. On the Mac, there are several. I played for once I'm an adult, typically I don't play. I try not to play at all because I kind of consider a game is like a waste of time. So it's a taboo. So in my mind I have this mindset where you don't want to touch that. That's something. It's like alcohol for some people. Okay, like some people are addicted to alcohol and they constantly try not to touch it. Every time they do, they got drunk. Then tomorrow they woke up. They say, "I'll never do it again." So I don't drink alcohol, so that doesn't apply to me. I don't really like alcohol that much. But for games, yes, that applies to me. So every time I play games, you know, it's going to be like the whole week. I do nothing, just play games. Then after that, okay, for several years I don't touch games. That's kind of like that. So anyway, so the modern games I played is Zelda and then Alice. Okay, Alice, um, American McGee's Alice. I have a website of this game. This is kind of okay game. I wouldn't say it's super good, but because I love the Alice in Wonderland, because Alice in Wonderland, Alice is one of my most favorite literature, at least back then. I wouldn't think so today. But Alice, I have a collection of Alice artworks. Yeah, let me show you some of these. It's interesting. But first of all, let's type it. Okay, so these are a bunch of Alice artworks, and I have these are classic, and some. Let me show you some of the rather interesting ones. And there is fashion. Women also girls for reasons they love Alice. They love the Alice in Wonderland the character. They they have yes, particularly girls. They have a obsession with Alice. Everything they for reasons. For example, these are fashion photo shoot for the Vogue magazine. It's magnified. So and it's well done. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. So you have this Alice, and and look at the queen. The queen is constantly saying "off with her head." And here is the story of the turtle and the griffin. Look at the guy's expression. That reflects the story of Alice in Wonderland to a T. So this is a great, fantastic fashion photo shootout. Very well done. Look at this guy's expression. And she's a Russian model. She's exotic, beautiful. And this is actually 15 years ago, almost 2007. Okay, 2007, 10 years ago. And yeah, Alice, the story of Alice in Wonderland, there's actually a lot of stories of that, interesting stories. Also, the mathematician, Dodgson, he is a mathematician. He doesn't really actually did much in math. He's just well known for writing Alice in Wonderland. And he's a logician. So some of the interesting artwork, for example, you have, this is a Alice, yeah, especially girls. There's a lot artists who are often women. For a period of time, like for 2 years, I dived into the artist community, like people who like to draw things like that. I also like that, but I never drew anything. I never learned it. So but anyway, for so for 2 years I went into I immersed myself in artist community, to see what they do, what they are, what kind of person are they, what do they have to do, what things they draw, because I like that. I like to explore all kind of things. So these are artworks about about Alice, and typically most of them are drew by women, girls. So here's the red peel and blue peel, and this is influenced by this game, American McGee's Alice. In this game, he pictures Alice in this horror as a horror show. Um, so anyway, red peel, blue peel, uh, Alice, and the red queen. The red queen is typically the bad guy that's considered. So so I was saying, so the games I played. Okay, so the modern game I played is Zelda and American McGee's Alice. Then in 2008 to 2012, 2007 to 2012, I was every day spending 5 hours, about 5 hours or more, in Second Life. Second Life. Uh, and I have a website dedicated to that entirely. Not this one. Yeah, Second Life. I have Second Life scripting tutorials. You have a computer programming language in Second Life, which is completely different than any language, because in Second Life, Linden's scripting language, that's what it is called. So when I was in Second Life for 4 years, I also wrote a mod for the Second Life scripting language, LSL mod, for Emacs. And I studied this a lot. I spent huge time on it. Uh, so Second Life. So yeah, so that's the three modern games I played. Then nothing else since. So let me read the comments, and that I think that will be it, unless there are more interesting comments. So Elder Scrolls, okay. Elder Scrolls equals to Skyrim. Okay, now that I understand. Skyrim. I know Skyrim. I heard of it because like 2 years, 3 years ago, it's all over the web. On Twitter, people talk about it. then I've seen some YouTube videos. That's what I do today. So I don't actually play any games, but I look into them. Like there's a shooter, first person shooter game which is popular. The what's the name? And where you have these different characters. Anyway, I look into them. I watch YouTube videos. I get a sense what they are. Like kind of like observing what's going on. The technology part, what's going on, the people. What young people are doing these days. What are they thinking? What's their what kind of language, what kind of jargons they use. Just a natural interest. Uh, Morrowind. 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 No, I don't know what's Morrowind. Okay, I know you guys are gamers. You guys are. You guys at least you guys are younger. That uh, Daggerfall and Deep Merchants have to admit the voxel graphics in Minecraft makes a functional sense. So what does voxel graphics mean? Uh, Zork. I heard of Zork. I think is that some kind of a spore. Like it's supposed to be this ambitious game where you start with spores and cells, and you become it becomes a civilization and universe, things like that. I beat the original Half Life in that way. Ocarina, yeah, Ocarina. Okay, so Ocarina. Oh, you didn't finish it. So after Ocarina, there are several versions. And I'm not working, so I don't have money. Then I degenerated. Then I suffer from hunger, and I was living in a car for like 2 years. Then I sold my car, and that's what I am now. Teaching, doing petty, teaching, writing petty Emacs tutorials. That's not what I want to do. Ocarina of Time, doing video talk show. Yeah, yeah, talk show. That's not that's not what I want to do. But as time goes on, life changes. You get old, and your viewpoint may change. And if you become poor, or let's say you went to prison, to jail, that just becomes your life. You adapt to it. That you adapt. What do I want? Well, that's hard to say. Well, uh, I want to get out of my shithole. That's what I want to do. But then again, it's difficult to say, and also that's a very interesting philosophical question. Okay. Hey, good morning, Alan. So, Alan, you bought my Emacs tutorial, right? Did you ever get my xali.info? Like answer, okay? Because like I hardly read my emails these days. I don't like almost I don't want to. And so I think you asked me to send you something. So today I just generated a xali info. Yeah, which one was it? Emacs. Wait. First of all, let me ask you: did you ever bought the xali.info? Let me ask you that one. Answer that first. Did you ever get? Did you ever paid for xali.info? I can actually easily check, but it's easier if I just ask you. Okay, so I need to send you the Emacs then. Okay, so great. Thank you for the donations. Yeah, yeah, I am gonna send it today. So right now my Emacs version, I think it's like 1 month old. Anyway, I'll send it today. Okay, it'll be out today for sure. Then I'll check my email. Okay, so if I did say I'm gonna send you the Xali info, I'm gonna send it. Well, you see the thing about Xali.info, the whole website, I just generated today. It's 2.8 gigabytes. 2.8 gigabytes. So it's a problem for me to handle it. Because if I just put on my website, each time a person downloaded, it's 2.8 gigabyte bandwidth. Uh, and then if I, then I put to, do you know the way DAO? So what do you mean? Well, I know what DAO is. Show me that way. Show me the way. Show that way. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the DAO. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Unless there's anything interesting. What do I want? So what do I want? So that's an interesting question. There's so many ways to go into it. Uh, and it also gets personal. But I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, I think that's it. That's it for today. Go into it tomorrow and make a schedule. What do I want? That's I'm not sure. I want to talk to that topic. So what you are much has to do with your personality. For example, what do I want? That I can talk about, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. What am I doing with my video? But if I just go naturally, then my video is just it's like what I have been doing. I just talk about random things, and often it becomes focusing on myself and focusing on myself. Like I talk about my own stuff, like my problems or whatever. My everything is Sadi, okay, and I'm the greatest, okay. But that's not good. You see that so first of all, do I want to be popular? That's so when I do introspection a lot, so I think about things. Whenever there's a question, I can do analysis on it very well, and so much introspection and analysis of things. That's crazy to most people. Okay, so what do I want? For example, what do I want? What am I doing with my video? Oh, okay, that's a question. And I have full analysis. I have complete detailed analysis on what's going on. What do I want to do? But that's you see that doesn't make you do those things. So that doesn't change you. Like if you want to be a leader, okay. For example, let me give you an example of this thought. If you want to be a leader, now I'm a nerd, okay. Maybe most of you are nerds. Probably a lot of you are. I know. So as a nerd, naturally you are not the leadership type. To be a leadership type, first of all, there are few characteristics. Let me just mention them out of the blue. One, well, first of all, a good thing to have is charisma. That like you look pretty, handsome. Handsome for guys, handsome. You have charisma. That's one thing. You don't. It's not necessary. It's not absolutely necessary. But that's a good thing to have for leaders. For leaders, then you have to talk well. You have to be able to speak smoothly, not like me, okay, stuttering and jump around topics and and not pronounce things well and things like that. And that's not good. You have to talk smoothly. That's the second thing to be a the leadership type personality. Another thing, another thing is that you actually don't want you don't you you can, for example, you cannot be a philosopher and also be a leadership type, because these two personalities are not the same, are not in the same whole. Okay, so it's almost like either or. Of course, there are exceptions, but because philosophers, if you want to be a great philosopher, you know you tends to be the person who think a lot, who think about all things, all details, and reserve your reservation, like you reserve your opinions until you have an overview, then you discuss in detail, in depth, and so on. That tends to be philosopher. You don't just say something right away. On the other hand, leaderships, for leadership types, you don't want that. Okay, you want to you kind of you want to, your personality, you don't want to think, you don't want to be the thinker type. Rather, you have opinion on things that came from your background, your experience, and also the your communities, your community's general tradition or convention or beliefs. For example, if you are a Christian, then you have certain beliefs in that groups. And if you want to be a, if you are a leader type for that group, you typically you know these things just by nature, just so for example, when the topic is something about religion, you naturally and automatically speak a opinion that most people will agree or find easy to be take in, even controversial subjects. So that's kind of leadership personality. Okay, so what's my point? My point is that now, if you are a nerd like me, we can study lots of things. We are engineers. We can study, we can analyze the leadership. But are you going to be a leader like that? That is the question. It's not like you can, what you can be if you really want, but that takes effort, and some practice. Okay, and you could be a leadership type of person, but however, you may not want to. It is a lot trade-off. Once you become a leadership type, for example, once you become a leader of a company or leader of a whole a movement or whatever, anything, there are trade-off. You may not want to be. I don't want to be. For example, as an engineer nerd type, you can be something, but maybe you don't want to actually, because once, for example, for the leadership, once you become leadership, you lost the philosopher trait, you lost the engineering trait. You no longer program. For example, you no longer have time to study or interesting academic things such as math, programming, languages, human languages, or even history, or a historian, or English literature. You no longer have time to do, well, not much, to explore all these things. And also, I mean, that not just time, not just lack of time, but also there's a trade-off in what you are going to be able to, in what you are willing to think. Because once you are a leader, your mind changes. It changes your mindset. It changes. You can, because you you cannot have two personalities. You cannot keep two personalities in yourself, like keyboard layout. You cannot be both a great Vorak typist and also quality typist. You could, but there's a lot of problem. You become inefficient. Then in both of them. So I'm saying, if you are a programmer, a nerd type engineer, you can learn to be a leader type, and you can then lead a team and be great leader. But you may not want to, because once you become leader, you no longer have the programmer mindset. You become a good leader type mindset. So in a sense, you are changing yourself. So the question is, do you want to make that change? Do you want to? So that's about that. Okay, so then back to the previous topic. What am I doing with my video? And what I'm doing with myself. What do I want to be? So I'm a philosopher type, so I think about all these things. So what do I want to? So for example, let's for a specific example, what do I want to do with my YouTube videos? That's easy to know. Yeah. The answer is very easy. First of all, what is my goal? Do I want to be popular? For example, let's say at least 10,000 followers. 10,000 is not much. Everyone's got 10,000 followers. If you just focus on specific topics and not live, just do 10 minutes video on Emacs, for example, every day. 10 minutes on Emacs topic, not live, and do some practice like rehearse, and edit, focus on 10 minutes Emacs subject. And then after half a year, I'll have 10,000 followers. I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah, just focus on that. Don't talk about controversial things. Don't flame free software, open source. Don't get into that thing. Just do that. So that's one. If I want to be popular, that's one of the thing I can do. I'm pretty sure I can, I'm capable of doing that. That I know. At least for Emacs, I know I can do that. Okay, some things you may not be capable of, but for Emacs I can do, and I can also Emacs this. Anyway, so first of all, what do you want to do? So one of the question is, do you want to be popular? Okay, then there's also subtleties. For example, what do you mean by popularity? Do you want to, okay, 10,000 viewers, let's say 50,000, okay? Is that good enough for you? Or another aspect is like popularity, like do you want to make money? I mean, is your popularity meaning making money? Like once you have a lot of followers, you actually, yeah, you do make money. So that is another question. Okay, so popularity. First of all, do you want to be popular? That's one of the questions. Then there's two branches. I mean, is this popularity? Do you intend to make money or not? Or or as a separate question, do you want to make money or not? So that's question. Then there are other, first of all, set up, explore this question about what one person can do on YouTube. So there are these issues: popularity, whether you want to make money, and then there's also what kind of things. I mean, do you want to content? For example, content and style. What do you want to do, and what does those has to do? What's the relation between content and style to the popularity and making money? For example, I know for sure that if I do Emacs Lisp, then if I focus on Emacs, then I know I will not be as popular if I do something else, something non-technical. Now I don't know what things I can talk about non-technical that that I can do. Um, for example, most people with medium followers, they are none of them, almost none of them, very few. None of them are like focusing on technical topic. They are all about memes and drama and shows and stuff. Or politics. Politics is one of the easy way to become hugely popular. I can do that. Okay, yeah, that I can do. So what I do, I just talk about politics. No Emacs, no nothing, no programming. Well, maybe a little bit, but so one thing I can do is I focus, like I talk about politics from a programmer's point of view, from a nerd's programmer point of view. And what politics I focus, this is important. Focus on the social justice, the political group, the community, like focus one. Sometimes even try to do a little clickbait, some dramatic things. I mean, the point is you don't want to be fair. You don't want to just talk about what is true. You because once if you talk about, if you are, focused on what is truly fair, then almost nothing you know. See, because politics, you have to dedicate your life to do research. Nothing you can make a claim or something. Rather, the more dramatic, the more bipartisan, the more popular you become, almost exponentially. So, for example, today on the web, there's tremendous popular website that's social justice warriors. On the other hand, there's many tremendous very popular website that's anti-social justice warriors. Okay, so you can do them, for example, and a lot of them, and you don't have to have knowledge. For example, there are a lot, we call them as comedians, but they are not really. I mean, if you really want to classify them, then you call them comedians. But they are just like, for example, me. So I just start to talk about politics, oh, social justice, trying to make it fun and just random talk. Okay, so that will make you popular. So so you explore the question about what do you want to do on YouTube, and also, so that's one way to become popular. But there's, and again, is that what you want to do? I mean, do I want to do that? There's a trade-off. Yeah, you could do that, but is that what you want to do? So there are all these. So I can analyze the situation well, but but there's a question like, do I want to do that? Is that what you want to do? You know, and for many people, for most people, you can, there are many self-help books that talks about how to change your life. Oh, the eight habits of successful people. I've read them like 20 years ago. I've read these kind of books, psychology books. What is happiness? And Bertrand Russell has written what is happiness, how to be happy. I'm a nerd. I'm a philosophy type of guy. I've read all these books. How to Make Friends, Dale Carnegie, how to be the greatest salesman. Uh, so for most people, there are all these self-help books. As if you are not, you can change your life to some other style or some other things you want, but ultimately there is a question: is that, do you want to? And also for a lot of people, that just never happened. Okay, because you were born with certain personality. It takes a concerted effort, and also it changes. You are changing yourself. That you are. It's almost like a metamorphosis. You can change into something. uh, but there's also always the question: do you want to? I mean, even implicit, subconscious, not necessarily a conscious decision. You may not want to. And then ultimately, there's the philosophical question uh, about like, I mean, ultimately it traces to, what's the meaning in life. That kind of. Okay, so that's it for today. I guess that's make a schedule. Yeah, so that is one of the problem. I don't have a schedule. Why do I not have a schedule? Because I'm like that. I don't follow. I don't stick to anything, and that is also the reason I don't have money. I can change that. But then I that's the question. Undecided, no decisions. So yeah, I don't know about you guys. Each person is different. Like online, I have no idea what you guys look like. So I actually, so if you guys, I don't know if that's something you guys are interested. But since some of you are, talking, watching my show so often, we could do a online hangout. If you guys want to. So anyway, I was saying I don't know nothing about you guys because from text you know little, very little. but if I see your pictures, then I know a lot. So what I'm saying is that maybe you guys think the same, think similar, or what's like, what do you think about what I just said about changing yourself and all that? And maybe you guys, like maybe you guys are already happy, or maybe you guys are young people, struggling or something, or I don't know. Like I have no idea. So I don't know. Okay, what? So would what you are? Yeah, that's a good point. So anyway, that's it for today. That today is getting long. Microsoft leadership. No, I mean not necessarily politicians. I mean it's just a general leadership personality. I mean just even among 10 people. Let's say you just went to a meet up with your friends, 10 people. Then naturally among your friends, 10 people. Let's say you went to a picnic naturally this happens naturally. It's almost never artificial. It's not like, oh, let's get together and vote for someone. No, but naturally when you have a group of people, let's say just among friends, naturally there's a someone, you know we all like we tend to think that we let him, yeah, we let him lead us. Like when he says let's do that, then we go do that. Tends to happen. This is natural. So I'm not a leader type, so I always like so in a group, I also naturally know someone, follow their his lead. So anyway, but by the way, leadership is not is not the best thing, or nothing like that. I'm not saying anything like that. Leadership is just one of the personality. Okay, then you have the scholarship type. That's us, the engineers. We build things. As far as community goes, you kind of need all kind of type of people. And I'm just mentioning a few of the personalities. Anyway, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.